Zhiyun has recently released the Molus G300 light, and this is an amazing light for anyone that films indoors but wants the outdoors to feature in the frame. This is what this shot looks like with no lights whatsoever. You can clearly see how dark I'm in here. But if I now turn them all back on, you can clearly see how much lifting I'm getting from my G300. In the past, they released the G200, and this is an amazing light in itself. But if you were to do any type of filming where the outside has a bright sunny day shining through the window, it would be just about okay on a casted day with shadows, but on a bright sunny day, it's not gonna be enough. You need more light. Whereas the G300, which I'm using now, gives you enough power whether you have a cloudy day or a bright sunny day. And the perfect example is this shot. So outside is cloudy, okay? I have my G300 at 40%. And look what happened if I turn off all the lights. This is what you need to do in order to get this type of shot. You need to first expose to the light and then bring the lights. And the great thing about these lights is that you can control them via the app. You can pretty much do anything that you want with these lights. You can reduce it, you can go all the way to 100%, which obviously would be too much. And the great thing about this is that the size of it, it's so small. The G200 was already small, but the G300, for what you get from it, this is tiny. You don't normally have 300 watt lights that are this tiny. And look, the best of it is that this is the max output at 100%, but you can now go max at 500%. And yes, okay, the fans are gonna kick in and it's gonna be a bit louder than what you would ideally want a 500 to be. But if you have the need of this amount of power, you can just dial it in either on the actual ballast or on the light itself. I really like this, especially if you do any type of corporate videos or interviews, whether it is talking to a camera yourself or having someone talking to a camera, because you may not want to be walking around and do some tweaks, because you can easily break the concentration of the person that you need to talk to or needs to talk to the camera. So the fact that you can do all the adjustments on the app, it's great. It has a CRI of 95%. Anything between 95 and 100% is color accurate. You get a 15,500 lux luminance. And when you engage the max mode, you get 20,300 lux. And that's without the reflector on this small, tiny body. And another thing that is great about it is the actual form factor, because this light is really small and lightweight for what you're getting, because a lot of the 300 watts that I've used in the past, they're either 2 or 3 times as big. The G200 doesn't have the handle grip that the G300 has, which makes it a lot easier to handle on location, especially if you need to put the light in a hard to reach place. The fact that you have that grip handle is really helpful. And the quality of the tightening nuts and controls have actually been upgraded from the G200. They feel much more professional and bigger, which actually makes it easier to tighten and lock in position. The ballast itself, for what you can do, it's really small. It's only a fraction bigger than the ballast that you get on the G200, but it feels a lot more rugged and professional. You still have the same design with the 2 dialing knobs on either side. And I have been in so many situations, whether it's at a corporate level, or documentary, or any sort of run and gun filming, where you are presented with a location to film an interview, and you have a really nice window or window panel, and then maybe not such a great looking location. But because I didn't have enough power on my lights to compensate for the brightness that you get from the outside, I had to sort of make do with indoors rather than having the window featuring in the frame. And this is what's so great about having powerful lights. For instance, if today was a bright sunny day, this window would be a lot brighter, but I'm running my light at 42%. So I have nearly 60% more than double the output. So I could easily compensate for that amount of brightness, adjust my ND filter, and this would be just fantastic. If I was to be in a corporate environment to film an interview, this is the type of light that you want, because it gives you the flexibility of deciding whether you want to be purely indoors or whether you want to have that exterior featuring in your frame. And that is amazing because a lot of the times these offices, they look fairly bland and boring, but if you win a window into the frame or a reflection of a window in the background, suddenly your shot becomes a lot more interesting, just as this shot that I've got here. And I'm using a lantern as a softbox, but I could easily use a parabolic or any type of lighting modifier that is Bowens mount, which means that you can pretty much use anything on these lights. The build quality is great, the materials are great, the noise is manageable. It's not as quiet as the G200 because it's outputting a lot more power, but it's definitely a lot quieter than most, if not all, of the other 300 watt lights that I've used in the past. And on top of all of this light is bicolor, just as the G200. So you have a range between 2700 to 6500 Kelvin. That gives you enough for pretty much any situation. It's so lightweight that you can put it on a lighting stand and it's not gonna buckle under the weight. You can mount it on auto poles as I have them. But one big difference that I've noticed between the G200 and the G300 is the locking of the Bowens mount. Because on the G200 you have to sort of press and release a button at the front of the light. Whereas with the G300, I personally think this is much better. You have a latch on the side of the light, which makes it a lot easier to put on or take out any lighting modifiers. This is a feature of the G300 that I'm really happy about because I struggle a little bit sometimes mounting different softboxes on the G200 and taking them out. Whereas now with this new mechanism, it's a lot simpler and easier. As a whole, I couldn't be happier with this light because the quality of the light is really nice and it just fits the type of YouTube portable mobile filmmaker where you don't want to be lumping around heavy equipment. And yes, not having a V-mount on the ballast might be an issue for some, but personally, that's not an issue for me. I don't have the need to be filming in a remote forest with these lights. Yes, it would be nice, but most of the work that I would do for these lights would be either indoors or I would have the ability to have an extension drum so that I can power these lights from someone's warehouse or whatever it is that I'm filming. This is gonna be a light that you're gonna be using for years, if not decades, because it's so good. And I am personally gonna be using this light pretty much on every job nowadays because it's a no-brainer. It weighs almost nothing. It's so small, I can pack it anywhere. If you want to have a really good all-round light and you do any type of filming where you want to have the outdoors featuring in your frame and you want to have the flexibility that whether it's a cloudy day or a bright sunny day, that you're gonna have enough light to compensate for that amount of brightness that comes from outside. This is a fantastic light. I have also a link in the video description for a completely free ebook on how to shoot video for YouTube. It's a complete breakdown of the entire process and I think many of you guys will find it really helpful. So head down to the video description, click on it, it's totally free, and I will see you in the next one.